Welcome, folks, to another episode of our Mass Effect Legendary series. I trust you are all well today. Alright, we will be picking up where we left off last time. We were doing a handful of our first side quests that we had picked up from the start of the game up to this point. And today we're going to continue off doing some more side quests, specifically returning to the Citadel to complete some of the side quests that we picked up there, but also to pick up a few more that we're going to complete later on in the game that'll kind of fill out our missions as we continue playing. We're also going to have a few conversations with our squad today, and if we have enough time, hopefully get to the next story beat. So let's load up here. Okay. So, first things first, we have a few squad points to spend. We're just going to put a few into Shock Trooper. And then we're going to get on our merry little way over to the Citadel. No time to waste today. Alright, over here to the Citadel. The Widow Nebula, or Serpent Nebula rather, and the Widow Cluster. Before we do dock, though, however, I am going to quickly show the journal and show you where we are, just as a quick refresher to make sure you're all caught up to date. We still have Noveria and Pharos to do, our big story quests. But for side stuff, we just have the collection quests in our journal, as you can see here, and then these three quests down here that are related to the Citadel, which is why we're going there. And when we come back onto the ship, we will have conversations with our squad. So I like going to the Citadel at this stage in the game because there's some content that feels relevant before you get too far into the main story, because I feel like the further you get into the main story, the more it makes sense to kind of progress deeper into it and not go off and do side content. So I kind of like to get the side content out of the way early on, and a large part of that has to do with clearing out the Citadel efficiently, and not necessarily quickly, but like before a lot of the main story beats. So we're gonna leave. Let's bring Tally with us today, and why not Garrus? We'll bring Tally and Garrus onto the Citadel with us.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
The Normandy VI that was just announcing our departure is actually voiced by the same person who does our female Commander Shepard here, so that's Jennifer Hale. And we're going to remove the helmet just because we're on the Citadel. And of course, we're going to save. Practice that good save hygiene.
Rear Admiral Mihailovic, 5th Fleet.
Commander Shepard, SSV Normandy.
You don't know who I am, do you, Commander? I command the 63rd Scout Flotilla. You and the Normandy were slated for my unit after shakedown. And the Council got their paws, claws, tentacles, whatever. They got them on our ship and you.
This is one of those satisfying conversations because you can really show off the Paragon and Renegade system.
I still serve the Alliance, sir.
Here, you'll see what I mean in a
I
second.
can advance our interests to the Council.
You still know what color your blood is, Shepard? I don't begrudge the politician's decision to throw you to the Council. It's an opportunity. I do begrudge this over-designed piece of tin, though.
Coming for the Normandy, not our ship.
The Normandy is a fine ship, sir. She's served us well so far.
It's a gimmick, Commander. Useless in a stand-up fight. This Experiment diverted billions from our appropriations bills. For the same price, we could have had a heavy cruiser. But no, we had to make nice to the Turians, throw money at a co-developed boondoggle. I'm here to make an inspection, Commander. Normandy is an Alliance warship. I intend to see she's up to snuff.
I like to think that the Normandy is up to snuff. We run a tight ship there on the
I'm
Normandy.
sure you'll find everything in order, Admiral.
I'll just bet. Wait here. I won't be long. Commander, I'm not happy.
What did you find out of order?
Who designed that CIC? Putting the commander aft of everyone else is inefficient. What if he needs to discuss with the operators toward the bow?
So like I mentioned in the previous episode, we'll be taking the Paragon route for most of these bigger decisions. But it is fun to do the Renegade here and really kind of stand firm that the Normandy is a good ship instead of, I don't know, both paths are actually good. I'll take the Paragon route right now.
Modified Turian style. They prefer commanders looking over their subordinates rather than in the middle of them. We wanted to see how effectively they can command with that setup.
Reasonable goal, but they should have studied that in a lab rather than on a frontline warship. I had to shake my head at that drive core of yours. 120 billion credits of element 0 to make this thing able to move without giving itself away. You realize we could make drive cores for 12,000 fighters with that money? What good is it to hide for a few hours anyway? Useless.
This is also a really good conversation early on in the game, rather than later in the game too, because you learn a lot about not just the Normandy, but about the way that the certain words are used in conversation, like, you know, element 0, in terms of drive ship cores and stuff like, or ship drive cores, sorry. It's a really good lore-based conversation that feels very natural between these two characters that you participate in, and you're learning as a player things you didn't previously know if this is your first time through. Like, oh, you didn't know that the Normandy was designed by both humans and Turians, and why that necessarily is a big deal, or why that would need to happen, and why this guy might necessarily not be too happy about it being an Alliance admiral.
We can loiter in an enemy system and monitor traffic or drop infiltration teams on enemy worlds. Normandy could be more effective than the Solarian STG.
Maybe. But that's not the job of a proper warship. We're supposed to find and kill the enemy fleet, not count how many times their garrison goes to the bathroom. And we need to talk about your crew, Commander. Krogan? Asari? Turians? What are you thinking, Commander? You can't allow alien nationals free access to Alliance equipment?
Between Saren and the Geth, we have enough enemies out here. Treating other species with suspicion and distrust won't win hearts and minds.
That assumes the hearts and minds are worth winning. That hasn't been proven yet. You have anything else to say, Commander? Any other justifications for the state of this vessel?
Oh wow, we don't have enough charm for this one. That's a shame.
None, sir.
Oh well.
Very well. I don't agree with any of this, but your reasons seem sound. I'll be submitting a report to the Joint Military Council. It will not be as negative as I planned. Good hunting, Commander Shepard. Make us proud.
I think we've accumulated more Renegade points than we've necessarily need. Yeah, we didn't even get any Paragon from that. We might not have enough charm that as much as we need, I guess, for this point in the game. I am noticing a slight difference from my off-stream playthrough and this one, where the Renegade and Paragon points are just slightly different. I think we have slightly more Renegade in this Shepard, which is fine. You know, it's cool, whatever. We won't get everything, and it's okay.
Alliance officials have raided a dangerous cult controlled by a former Alliance officer, Major Kyle. Major Kyle surrendered and is now being treated for severe post-traumatic stress disorder.
Alright, we got a bit of a conclusion on one of the quests we did last episode. We know what happened to Major Kyle now, after he was brought into Alliance custody.
Commander Shepard?
I wonder if we'll have enough charm for this conversation now.
Khalees had been seen in Al-Jalani, Westerland News. Would you answer a few questions for our viewers?
What sort of questions?
People back home have heard a lot of wild stories about you, Commander. I can give you the chance to set the record straight. What do you say?
What do you want to know?
You've been given a unique position to represent our race. People want to get a sense of how you'll do that. Humans have been trying to get the respect of the galactic community for 26 years. With that in mind, what are your feelings on being the first human Spectre?
Honored, of
Spectres
course.
represent the best of every species in the galaxy. To be asked to join them is an honor.
Some have said your appointment is the Citadel throwing humans a bone. Have you encountered any situations where the Citadel asked you to place its needs before the needs of Earth?
So far, so good.
The Council is concerned with the needs of the whole galactic community. We're part of that community now. Our needs are on their agenda, but we're one of many.
You really do believe that, don't you? You've been given command of an advanced human warship for your missions. Is there anything you'd like to say about it?
So some more background on the Normandy here.
Actually, the Normandy was co-developed by human and Turian engineers. Its design incorporates many innovations, all of which are classified, I'm afraid.
So the Turians have knowledge of the Normandy that is being kept secret from the Alliance public? Do you think it was appropriate to hand Earth's most advanced warship over to the Citadel?
I wasn't aware it had been handed over to anyone. I'm in command, and last I checked, I'm human. Same goes for my crew.
Human, yes, but you do work for the Citadel now, Commander. One last question, Commander. Rumors back home say you're tracking a rogue Spectre named Saren. Do you have any comment on that?
I always do the I can't confirm or deny that. Do the typical non-answer. It's the only thing I ever
I'm afraid
do.
I can't comment on whatever my current assignment may or may not be.
Don't worry, we'll find out. The eyes of Earth are on you. Don't let us down. Thank you for your time, Commander Shepard.
No problem. Alright, so we have a few side quests to do, and I've kind of thought of and determined an efficient way forward that I think we can get through this Citadel section. Oh, hang on.
A computer system catastrophically overloaded recently. Technicians are reportedly unsure of what caused the malfunction, or even what the system was originally designed to do. CSEC is investigating the possible vandalism or misuse of public property.
We know what happened. Alright, here we are on the Presidium level. But yes, as I was saying, I've pretty much figured out an efficient path forward that'll get us through this Citadel section in one shot, with very minimal backtracking, and one little instance of fast travel that I don't think I can really avoid if I want to do this do it the way I want to do it today. So we'll try to get through this quickly, because we did spend a significant amount of time on the Citadel, and we do still need to come back here later on in the game, however, not for a while after this particular visit. So right now we're going to go talk to Nisana. She's here on the embassies. If you recall, before we speak to her, just so you are refreshed, where is it here? Asari Diplomacy. You've received a cryptic message from Nisana Dantius, an Asari ambassador on the Citadel. She wants to meet you in person. So this is her. We're going to save. And
Commander
let's
Shepard,
go.
I am Nisana Dantius. I see you got my message.
It sounded like you needed some help.
I do. My sister Dahlia is a crewman on a cargo vessel operating out beyond the fringes of the Traverse. Her ship was attacked by privateers. There were no reported survivors.
You want me to hunt down the people who killed her?
This is where it gets complicated. Last week, I received a message with her voice on it. Dahlia is alive. The rest of the crew was killed, but she was taken prisoner. The slavers demanded a huge ransom from me in exchange for returning her unharmed.
Let's inquire further about
Why
that.
didn't the raiders kill Dahlia along with everyone else?
My sister probably told them who she was. My family's very wealthy, Shepard. They must have realized she was worth more to them alive.
I like going neutral here. You don't want to necessarily lead her on to tell her one way or another, but you know, with the...
Do you want me to deliver the ransom?
I've already transferred the funds to the account they specified.
Of course she
They never
has.
released her. They haven't contacted me since. I've made a terrible mistake, Shepard. I'm a diplomatic emissary. By law, I'm required to report any attempted extortion to CSEC immediately. But I was afraid for Dahlia, so I just paid the ransom. Now she's still missing. And if anyone finds out what I did, I could end up in jail.
Why would they put you in jail? You're the victim here.
Government representatives on the Citadel are not allowed to negotiate with terrorists. It's too dangerous. Paying a ransom would only encourage more kidnappings. I support the law in theory, but when I got the message, all I could think about was Dahlia's safety. I doubt they would actually send me to prison for what I did, but they would strip me of my post, and Dahlia would still be in the hands of the slavers.
You want me to find her and bring her back?
You only need to bring her back. I've already found her for you. I tracked the ransom payment through several accounts. Eventually, it led to a small mercenary band operating out of the Artemis Tau cluster. I need you to go to the Merc base, take them out, and bring my sister back. You shall be well rewarded.
The Artemis Tau cluster was, of course, the cluster we went and did both the Therum mission to save Liara, and where we found Admiral Kahoku's men killed by a thresher maw. So let's see here.
How'd you find out who was behind the ransom?
I have resources. Contacts and credits can go a long way, especially if you're willing to bend the rules. I already broke the law when I paid the ransom. This couldn't make things any worse.
Anything you can tell me about the mercs who have your sister?
Pretty much what you'd expect. Rough, dangerous, and well-armed. Nothing a Spectre cannot handle, though.
Can't you hire someone else to do this?
I do not want to take chances with my sister's life. I need a Spectre. Besides, you operate outside official channels. My superiors cannot find out I never reported the ransom in the first place.
We'll do it.
Don't worry. I'll bring your sister back.
Thank you, Shepard. I knew you were the right woman for the job. Come back and see me when the job is done.
So then we have updated our journal, and we need to go find her sister in the Artemis Tau cluster. Now, last episode, when I thought I still had one more mission to do, that was the one I thought we had left to clear, but I was mistaken. We now have it to go clear, if we so choose. But currently, we are going to head on across the Presidium Bridge to the, I think, the Financial and Market District for a couple quests that we're going to pick up and complete. Let's just run, speed it up a little bit. Don't mind me, the armed soldier running across this bridge, fully armed. And we'll save again just because we had a conversation and updated our log. We'll take this path this time. Down the stairs to the back of the consort's office. And we're also going to hit up the Citadel Tower after the Market District here to turn in the Kahoku quest and inform Gareth, or whatever his name is, about the ultimate fate of his brother. But first, we're going to speak to Helena Blake.
Hello, Spectre. I have a business proposition for you.
How did you know I'm a Spectre?
Word travels. Your name comes up in certain circles. I'm acquainted with a pair of powerful crime bosses. They're hiding on remote worlds, and I have the coordinates. You could do the galaxy a favor.
And what do you get out of this?
We share interests
Not suspicious
in
at all.
certain cooperative ventures. But their business practices have forced me to terminate our relationship. Once they are dead, I will manage our organization in a more tasteful manner.
I eliminate them and then you take over and try to eliminate me. How stupid do I look?
While I appreciate your estimation of my bravado, I have no intention of attempting to murder you. You are the first human Spectre, and you are doing important work for humanity. I have no interest in red sand or slavery. Anyone who does deserves to die. Our needs are aligned.
You're obviously with them. Why don't I just arrest you instead?
Arrested for what? You and I are simply having a conversation. I have excellent legal representation. Arresting me would be a waste of your time.
What crimes did these men commit?
They're red sand dealers who make victims of their customers. Those who can no longer pay are sold to Batarians as slaves. They're loathsome, hurting innocent people. They must be ended.
What kind of defenses would these two have?
I haven't the faintest idea, but they're
I like how
certain to
Garrus
be
turns his head
armed.
and watches Shepard
Their
speak every
partnership's
time.
soured, and each believes that the other intends to kill him. They will be well prepared.
Of course we're gonna
If
do
they're as
it.
bad as you say they are, they need to be dealt with.
Excellent. Here are the coordinates. When these men are dead, I will wait for you at the third set of coordinates. Goodbye, Commander. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure. That's a word for it. Got some renegade points there. Just what we need. Okay, and the next thing we're gonna do here is speak to Rebecca and Michael.
This is not what Jake would want.
I don't care what you think, Michael. It's my decision.
I know you're hurting, Rebecca, but don't let your grief hurt your baby too.
Can I help with anything?
Perhaps you can talk some sense into her.
I don't need anyone to talk sense into me, Michael. I'm not undergoing the treatments.
My sister-in-law here is pregnant, and she's refused to let the baby undergo gene therapy in utero.
I'm certain that she has a good reason. I'd like to hear both sides.
My husband Jacob died from a rare heart condition several months ago.
There's a chance that the baby could develop the same heart condition, but routine gene therapy can eliminate it.
A very small chance, Michael. And extranet reports say the therapy could harm the child.
It's less dangerous than the genetic enhancements that every soldier in the Alliance receives.
I always thought Michael was being a little intense. He's even yelling at her. Man, like, calm down, Michael.
What are the chances that your child will develop the heart condition?
According to the doctors,
Chill,
there's a
bro.
1 in 50 chance. And if my baby develops the condition, medical treatments are available.
Which are nowhere near as effective as simply getting the gene therapy.
What are the chances that gene therapy could hurt the baby?
1 in 300 at most.
But extranet articles say there could still be long-term complications we don't know about. Don't you understand? If my baby is that 1 in 300, I will always wonder if I killed my baby for nothing.
And of course, we're gonna say let Rebecca choose. Michael can get out of here.
It's
Get out of
Rebecca's
town,
child,
Michael.
I think you should honor her decision.
Damn it, she's not choosing. She's acting blindly out of grief.
I know you want the best for your brother's child, but this is not your decision.
Of course it is. I'm the closest thing to a father this baby is going to have.
Is this about keeping the baby safe, or is this about you losing your last link to your brother?
This baby is the only thing my brother... It's all I have left of him. I need to know that the baby's safe.
It's all I have left too, Michael.
I just want Jacob's child to be safe. I want to give him that much.
We will. I promise. Thank you for talking with us. I appreciate it.
Just a little quest to get some background and some lore into, I guess, what life is like as a human in the 22nd century. And we picked up some Paragon points while we were at it. And from here, luckily, the elevator to the Citadel Tower is right... Yeah, I think this is it. Yeah, this should be it. No, wait, no, this is the wards. What is going on? Wrong elevator. We need to go to the Citadel Tower, and once we're there, we will speak to Kahoku, and we actually need to inquire about Armiston Baines. The last time we asked about or inquired about Baines. Oh, hang on.
Anniversary of the end of the Rachni Wars. Many Council worlds, particularly Asari and Solarian colonies, will hold victory parades to commemorate the defeat of the invading Rachni. In a rare admission of debt, several Asari colonies have invited Krogans to be honored for the victories the uplifted Krogans made possible.
But yeah, last time we spoke about Armiston Baines was with, I think, Anderson and the docking bay in the Normandy. We'll quickly save there. Love me some of that Mass Effect elevator music. Here we are at the beautiful Presidium Tower, that fountain. Alright, let's just jog a little, save some time. Don't need to walk everywhere. First things first, we gotta talk to this dude and tell him about his brother.
Any news? Did you find my brother yet?
I found your brother's body. His ship was attacked by privateers.
Willem's dead? I guess I should have expected this. When his ship dropped out of contact, I just knew. But I kept hoping he might still be alive.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you for finding him. It's better to know one way or the other. That's what they say, right? Please excuse me. I need to go make arrangements for his funeral.
Some more Paragon points, and that's that. Just an early quest completed. And of course, Admiral Kahoku is over here. Still trying to get through at this terminal like he was the last time we saw him.
One of the Councilor's assistants.
Poor guy.
Commander, any word on my missing men?
I'm not sure how to tell you this, Admiral. Your men were killed by a Thresher Maw.
A Thresher Maw? That's not... My men wouldn't just stumble into a Thresher nest. Not the entire unit.
Somebody lured them there with an Alliance distress beacon. Placed it perfectly so they'd land right beside the Thresher nest.
Damn it. I had a bad feeling about this ever since my team disappeared. An Alliance beacon used as bait, my unit wiped out, and nobody seems to know anything about it. Commander, I appreciate what you did. Now I need to do my part. The families of those Marines deserve to know why they died.
And here we go, our Baines dialogue is unlocked. And if you actually speak to him at this point and don't inquire about Baines, you'll actually never get to again. And that's all I'll say about that.
Captain Anderson said you had information on Baines.
Not as much as I'd like to. One of my crews found him, frozen stiff on board a derelict vessel. The missing recon group? The one I sent you to find? They were scouting the system we found Baines' ship in.
Intriguing.
Anything you need from me?
Not right now, Shepard, but I'll let you know as soon as I find something out.
So I'll talk more about Baines in a later episode when we deal with what Kahoku just alluded to later. So we'll hold that thought. How about that? We'll save it there. Just remember that we had this conversation with Kahoku about Baines.
Hello again, Commander. I've got a proposition for you. Since you helped me get information on the crime syndicate, I've gotten a lot more backing from my publishers. I'm investigating traffic controller conditions now, and I wondered if you could help.
That seems like a step down from wide-scale corruption.
Actually, in a way, it's more important. This isn't about people getting rich. This is about safety. I've heard rumors that the space traffic controllers are overworked to a dangerous degree. I can't get into the control room, but you could. If you planted a bug inside, I could crack the story.
This bug you want me to plant, could it interfere with traffic signals?
Absolutely not. I made certain that the frequencies it uses won't interfere with anything.
What will this bug allow you to pick up?
Just audio and video. I'm not trying to tap into the traffic control system if that's what you're worried about. I just need to hear and see them in order to correlate their activity with traffic efficiency.
Everyone knows space traffic controllers are overworked. How is this news?
There's a difference between overworked and dangerous. Traffic at the Citadel has increased by 300% in the last century, but traffic controller resources haven't kept up. We already have several last-minute wave-offs per week. Do we have to wait for a full-blown disaster?
If you crack this story, what's likely to happen?
Ideally, there will be calls to improve working conditions by hiring more controllers and upgrading systems. The Council won't pay for improvements voluntarily. This story will provide that pressure.
I can't promise anything, but I'll see what I can do. Give me the bug.
Excellent. Just place it on a terminal with a good view of the area. Thanks again for your help. In the long run, this story is going to save lives.
Beyond just the completionist mentality to do every quest in a video game, I do like to think about helping out, or Shepard helping out, shed some light on some workers who need some extra resources or need a little more help because they're being overworked. Make Shepard a little more of an empathetic, sympathetic character, you know? Okay, so we're gonna head down back into the Presidium and then down into the wards, actually, because we have Conrad Werner to go speak to.
In the Eden Prime investigation, the Council has reportedly revoked the Spectre status of one of its operatives. While the unnamed operative has not yet been apprehended, a Council spokesman confirmed that corrective actions had been taken.
Okay, we're going to head to the wards, and as I said, we're going to speak to Conrad Werner. But not only that, I do believe there should be a Shepard-specific quest based on Shepard's origins active at this point in the Citadel, or at this point in the game, that you can access on the Citadel. And we have the Earthborn background for our Shepard, so the specific quest relating to that backstory should be down in the lower part of the wards.
Alliance officials have raided a dangerous cult controlled by a former Alliance officer, Major Kyle. Major Kyle surrendered and is now being treated for severe post-trauma.
We actually heard this, so we can actually skip the elevator ride. Cool. That's one of our first times getting to skip it, because usually we like listening to the news announcements. You'll get some resolution on some quests, or you'll pick up quests, as we saw last time. But aside from that, yeah, sometimes just repeating dialogue in the elevators, or your squad will talk.
In light of the recent attack on Eden Prime, many colonial investors are pulling their support for future projects. Proponents of expanded human colonization insist that Eden Prime was an isolated case. Nevertheless, colonist enrollment has dropped sharply. Many colonial proposals are on hold until backers have some reassurance that human colonies will be adequately protected.
Okay, so from here, we should be able to just go directly to Conrad, I think, in the market district of the wards. I don't think there's anything necessarily worth picking up or buying on the Citadel at this stage, so we're not even going to worry about the shops. We'll just walk by those. But there's our buddy Conrad.
Commander Shepard, it's me, Conrad Werner. Remember me? There are rumors on the extranet that you've been made the first human Spectre. That's incredible.
Being a Spectre is a big responsibility. I just want to make humanity proud.
The vids are all talking about Commander Shepard fighting for all of us back home. And your grace and skill have inspired a whole legion of admirers, too. Hey, can I get your picture?
I think his little animation glitched out there when he was giving Commander the salute. He wants our picture. I suppose. Why
I don't have a
not?
problem with it, but why?
Are you kidding? Nobody will believe that I talked with the beautiful Commander Shepard unless I get a picture. Just hold up your gun. Perfect. Thanks again, Commander. I'm gonna hang this in my living room. My wife will love it.
God, Conrad. let's give our file a save and head down to the lower markets and just digest that interaction a little bit, I guess. At this point, though, I do believe the Earthborn quest should be right about here in Korra's den. Yeah, here it is.
They told me it was you, but I didn't believe it. Shepard grew up and turned into a soldier.
Have we met?
Name's Finch. You probably don't remember me, but we ran together in the 10th Street Reds. Maybe you don't remember it yourself, running in a gang. None of the vids mention it when they're talking about you.
Shepard has no regrets, you know? No, not ashamed of her
My
past.
history's a matter of public record. I got nothing to hide.
Really? What if someone gave an interview talking about Commander Shepard's history in the gangs? We're not trying to cause you trouble, Shepard. We just want a favor, for old time's sake. One of the Reds, Kurt Wiseman, got picked up by Turians. We'd like you to talk to the Turian guard in the bar and get Kurt out.
What was this guy arrested for?
Some stupid minor offense. Maybe he had a little red sand. You know how the Turians
Ooh,
are.
red sand,
They
eh?
declared him a problem, and they're shipping him back for a trial.
What was one of the 10th Street Reds doing in Turian space?
Since your days, the Reds have expanded. We do some salvage, a little shipping here and there, that kind of thing.
Shipping, hey?
You're not asking me to break Wiseman out of jail, are you?
Of course not. But word has it you've got some pull with the aliens. All we're asking you to do is pull a little for us.
I'll talk to the Turian and see what I can do.
Thanks, Shepard. I knew you'd remember your old friends. The guard's over in Korra's den. Take care of this, and you'll never see me again.
So we're just gonna go have a conversation with our little Turian pal. And our little 10th Street Red friend will be none the wiser.
Can I help you?
A human named Finch wanted me to use my authority as a Spectre to free Kurt Wiseman.
The xenophobe? I should have known he'd have friends. Thank you for the information. We'll increase the guard on his cell.
I knew you'd rat us out, Shepard. Now it's payback time. When we're through telling our story, the aliens will all know what the first human Spectre really is.
What do you want, Finch? What gets you out of my life?
What do I want? I want aliens off of Earth. I want the Council to stay out of humanity's business.
The 10th Street Reds was a gang, not an Earth First movement.
They're a human movement now. You think the vids will make that distinction? I can find a dozen Reds who'll swear they saw you kill aliens for fun. Who's going to believe you then?
My bio is public record. Everyone knows I ran with gangs as a kid.
They don't know that the Reds target aliens specifically. We've got the backers to handle off-world missions. Your alien friends won't like you so much when they hear what your gang did.
So we're gonna take the Paragon option here, of course. We could shoot him though. That is an option.
If you want humanity to be strong, a smear attack on the first human Spectre is a bad idea.
The Spectre is right. This is humanity's chance to prove itself. There's even talk of earning a council seat.
Of course you'd side with Shepard. You want someone who's in bed with your kind.
We need the other races, Finch. That's the best way to strengthen humanity.
Fine, Shepard, you're right. You're not one of the Reds. Maybe you never were.
That man is a xenophobe who thinks he can blackmail a Spectre. You should have killed him.
That's not the way I work.
Goodbye, human. It'll be interesting to see what kind of Spectre you turn out to be.
That's the kind of Spectre we are, defying expectations and trying to take the high road when we can. I mean, like, realistically, Shepard has the authority to kill the guy and have it not be a problem. Okay, from here, I do believe we're going to head to CSEC, because that is where Emily Wong, our reporter friend, asked us to go. And then from there, I think we can actually leave the Citadel. We don't have to stick around. There's not much else for us to do. We picked up a couple quests. The hostile takeover quest from, oh, what's her name? Helena Blake. And the Nasana quest. And we already spoke to Officer Lang. We don't need to speak to him again. But yeah, so we're going to quickly complete the Emily Wong quest by going to CSEC and planting the bug in the air traffic control room. Oh, where is the door?
The Quarians endangered the entire galaxy when they let the Geth break free. I hope your people are properly contrite, Tally.
As the Turians are properly contrite for releasing the genophage upon the Krogan.
You're assuming that sterilizing them was a mistake.
Ooh. Got some heat between Tally and Garrus there for a minute. But yeah, we're gonna go plant the bug for Emily Wong, and then use our only instance of fast travel that I think we'll even encounter to go back to this Citadel Tower, and then use it again to come back here, where we currently are, and CSEC headquarters, and then just take the elevator up to the Normandy docking bay. So we plant the bug. And let's quickly run back to Emily Wong down this staircase. I really hope they do fix some of the reflections, because you can see the juddering, and there's some visual bugs and artifacts just kind of in the reflections in general. I mean, they're really pretty, it's just they're almost there. They could be that much more stable. It's like they're pretty, they're just not quite stable enough to be appreciated in their totality. Okay, so we're going to head to the tower. Thankfully, the fast travel location is right next to Emily Wong, and the loading is very fast.
I'm already getting readings. This is gonna make a great story. Thank you so much for your help. Here, this is everything I've got from my publisher's budget.
It was no problem. Good luck with your story. It deserves to be heard.
I appreciate your support. I hope this will save some lives in the long run. Thanks again for your help. I'm gonna show this to my publisher.
So it's nice to grab the Paragon points at that point, and the credits and the experience points. It's the largest reason why I do this quest before leaving, instead of doing it when I come back. But that's pretty much it. Now we head to the Normandy docking bay and leave the Citadel for now.
Your choice in armor is awfully limited, Tally. Couldn't you wear something without a helmet?
No, living in the clean environment of the flotilla has weakened our immune systems. The environmental suits protect against diseases.
So your people are forever wandering, and now they couldn't settle if they wanted to. I'm sorry.
Nice, you get a bit of Quarian lore there. I do forget, but you can talk to your squad in different parts of the Citadel and do say different things.
When I first arrived on the Citadel, I spent nearly 3 hours being questioned by the officers here before they would...
Oh no, she didn't finish her sentence.
The Normandy combines the best of Alliance technology and Turian engineering. It shows what we're capable of if we work together.
Quarians aren't too popular with Citadel security. They think we're all beggars and thieves.
But yeah, they'll all say different things. All your squad mates will say different things based on the location sometimes. It's nice to hear what they have to say. It'll even do it on
decontamination in
major story mission places, locations. They'll have something to say usually there too. So the game just crashed on us there, which is interesting. I'm wondering where our last save was. Alright, so we should be back. Let's see where we are. Journal here. Did we plant the bug? Yes, we planted the bug. I think it saved when we fast traveled, actually. Okay, cool. That's one thing that...
recently released an official
Oh, hang
statement
on.
regarding their missing survey team in the Hades Gamma Cluster. According to the statement, the remains of the survey team were discovered not far from their abandoned research camp. There were no survivors. It is believed the researchers were the victims of a random attack by raiders or mercenaries. Names will be released after next of kin are notified.
But yeah, bit of a shame there that we lost some of the dialogue, but that's okay. We heard it anyways. The game crashed. We didn't lose any progress because thankfully there was an autosave on, I think, every fast travel. And I think that's something that carried over from the original game, actually. That's not something that they added because they did add extra checkpoints throughout the game.
Stand by, shore party.
I just think that the taxi always had an autosave on it.
Log.
Okay, cool. We didn't crash this
Commanding
time.
officer is aboard. XO Presley stands relieved.
Alright. We'll save this time because we passed the crash. And before we go and do anything else, I do believe we have some conversations to have with our squad mates. I'm not sure if everyone has something new to say. I do know that some of them do have some new things to say. And I like having these conversations before doing any of the major story beats because major story beats also induce the character or the squad mates to say something new as well.
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Maybe we could pick up where we left off. You were telling me about your interest in the Protheans.
Actually, I think I was talking about my interest in you, and making a fool of myself in the process. As I said, I am not used to dealing with people, especially humans. I did not really know much about your species when we first met, Shepard. I found it hard to take humanity seriously. Your kind always seemed so rushed and high-strung.
We don't have the luxury of time, and Asari can live for 1,000 years. We're lucky if we hit 150.
That is true. At first I thought that was a weakness of your species. After spending time with you and your crew, however, I think it may actually be an advantage. You humans are creatures of action. You pursue your goals with an almost indomitable determination. It is an admirable trait, but also an intimidating one.
You're scared of us?
Unfortunately, the rest of the galaxy sees humanity as something of a bully. You run over anyone in your path to get what you want. It is up to people like you to change their minds, Shepard.
I'm doing the best I can, Liara.
There is a reason the Council chose you to become a Spectre. They saw something special in you. The best of what humanity has to offer. I looked into your history. I know what happened on Akuz. The fact that you survived shows a remarkable strength.
You didn't need to go behind my back. I would have told you whatever you wanted to know.
I apologize, Commander. After our last conversation, I was afraid I would say something stupid again. I wanted to know more about you, to understand what made you into the woman you are. There is something compelling about you, Shepard.
Oh, Shepard and Liara starting to flirt
Are
again.
you sure you're interested in me? Or is it my visions of the Protheans?
I admit, your connection to the Protheans had something to do with my initial interest. But it has grown beyond that. You intrigue me, Shepard. But I was not sure if it was appropriate to act on my feelings. I thought there might already be a relationship between you and Lieutenant Alenko.
Nope.
The Lieutenant and I are just friends. Nothing more.
My mistake, then. I am not as adept at understanding human relationships as I thought. But what about us, Shepard? Is there a mutual attraction, or was I wrong about that too?
No, you were right. There is something between us.
I knew it, and I knew you felt it too. But does this not seem rather strange? Why do I feel so close to you? We have only known each other a short time. We are from two different species. We have almost nothing in common. This makes no sense.
These things never make sense. They just happen and we get swept up in the storm.
You make it sound so chaotic, so dangerous.
Don't tell me a little danger puts you off.
This is all a bit overwhelming. I am not used to this. I need some time.
Take all the time you need, Liara. I'll be here.
Thank you, Shepard. Let's just talk about something else for now.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
And Shepard's just like, I should go. See you later. Off to talk to Caden and the rest of the crew. Quickly check the locker to see if there's anything in there. Nope, it's still open from the last time we did. Let's talk to Caden then.
Do you have some time to talk now, Commander?
Let's hear it, Lieutenant. I'm always open to my officers.
We've played it pretty close to the book so far, but we're a long way from backup. We've got some tough calls to make. I'm just saying, try to leave yourself a way out. I've seen what cutting corners can do, and I'd hate to have that happen to you, Shepard. Commander.
This a personal observation, Caden?
I don't want to step on anyone else's toes, especially if you're if I have misread your interests.
Someone? You're referring to our young Prothean expert.
I think she's older than both of us put together, but yeah. There's a lower deck rumor that she's interested in you as more than a source of Prothean data. She's a very interesting lady. Not to my tastes, but I never claimed to be big on alien culture.
You seem awfully worried about my personal affairs.
It's just that we don't have much downtime these days. I like being around you, but I don't want to take up your personal time.
Look, you didn't want to talk about Liara, did you? What's your real issue?
You're right. Sorry. It wasn't, Liara's not my main concern. I'm not questioning any decision you've made, Shepard. Let me be clear about that. It's just my experience that once someone lets something slide, it tends to pick up speed. You get my meaning?
You're talking about a particular example, aren't you?
You know the records about the biotic trading out on Jump Zero? They're all classified, because the Alliance made mistakes. After first contact, Kinetics was set up to track Element Zero exposures and develop implants for humans. Once we had an embassy on the Citadel, Kinetics could bring in experts instead of taking it slow.
The only experts would have to be aliens.
Dead on. Turians, actually. That's why Kinetics kept it a secret. They were afraid of what people back home would think, asking the Turians for help when we just fought a war with them.
The Asari would have been more acceptable than the Turians.
Yes, but the company didn't go through the Citadel. It would have made Earth look weak, so they discreetly hired some Turian mercenaries.
Is there some reason we couldn't learn it on our own?
They didn't know where to start. Hell, it took a couple of years to even link biotics and Ezo. Forget trying to get the kids to move stuff. They had trouble just helping them not break their own limbs. And their choice of teachers didn't help much.
Get your knuckles rapped a few times, Lieutenant?
Yeah, you could say that. Our instructor was a Turian by the name of Commander Vernus. To introduce himself, he liked to say, "I was at the helm of the dreadnought that killed your father." told him my dad wasn't in the war. He'd retired to Vancouver. My family had an inland home that matured to new beachfront. Vernus had it in for me after that. He cut corners, pushed hard. I mean, you either came out a Superman or a wreck. A lot of kids snapped. A few died. The point of all of this, I guess, is that when you cut corners, it's not always obvious who pays for it.
So why are you telling me this? Is there something I can do to help you get over it?
I'm 32, Shepard. You don't serve as long as I have without coming to terms with yourself. You also learn that if someone is special to you, you help them. Try to keep them from making mistakes.
So you think you have leave to talk like we're more than officers?
I got some signals. Maybe some static too, I guess. If I'm out of line, just say the word.
That was a lot of preamble for Caden to just be frank. So, immediately after our conversation with Liara, this is funny. This is the point in the game where the player is kind of able to explore their potential romantic interests and establish a relationship that can potentially last throughout the trilogy. It does seem a little ham-fisted in hindsight of, like, you know, it's 2021 and this came out in 2007. But, you know, it's here. It's Mass Effect 1. It's an early concept to games that have kind of reiterated and worked on the idea for the past, 10 plus years at this point. But we're going to tell Caden that he's out of line, I guess.
Sorry, Caden. This was just a battlefield thing.
There's my answer then. I'm sorry to have bothered you, Commander. I got some mixed signals. With your permission, I shall return to my duties. Anything you need, Commander?
I'm just checking to see...
Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander.
Yeah.
We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
So now on to talking to the rest of the crew. We still have Ashley, Garrus, Rex, and of course Tally to speak to, and I think all of them have a little something to say. And then after that, we'll quickly check our quest log and see what we have time to do and where we're going next.
Commander, good to see you.
You've been with CSEC a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
I bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit disturbing.
What happened? Why were you investigating him?
I love this story.
Black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the cycles. I remember this one L-Corps diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs. Had the station in a bit of a panic. But this case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Solarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
Not one Krogan testicle.
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set. Somebody's making a killing out there.
Subtle way of saying they have 4, hence their use of the word quad.
What'd you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
You mean threatening? Was that really necessary?
Maybe, maybe not. Either way, it paid off. One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up, and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. We just used them to make more organs. But they wouldn't listen.
So again, this is one of those moments where you can kind of push Garrus in one direction or another, and again, we're gonna double down or triple down on us kind of challenging his own beliefs and making him see other perspectives.
It's not worth the risk. You pursue the vessel and disable it. That's the best choice.
They sent the military after him, but he got away just the same. Yes, they did. I went to Patton and told him what I thought of him and his policies. He said if I didn't like it, I could quit. Well, I almost did. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
If you don't care about the fate of those hostages, then you're no better than he is. You're just a terrorist with a badge.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It doesn't make it any easier, but I see your point. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salion?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that. But Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Salion, I want to be there when you find him.
So this is the kind of proto-loyalty quest, that idea that we'll see expanded upon, you know, exponentially in Mass Effect 2. And if you're not familiar with Mass Effect 2, of course, I won't say a whole lot, but Garrus, Rex, and Tali will all kind of tell you a story and give you an associated quest that they would like to be on when you complete, and then that idea is just kind of expanded upon as the series goes. It becomes rather a staple, I guess, that the Mass Effect is known for. We're quickly going to save in case the game does crash again. I would hate to have conversations over again, but let's speak to Ashley now.
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
I think we already had this conversation with her.
Or at least I don't think she lies very often.
Yeah, she's probably... Hey, want me to ask her about...
Yes, we did.
Too bad those ruins got destroyed.
Okay,
I mean,
let's ask another question.
To talk one-on-one?
Sure. I was just watching some mail from home.
Oh, before I go, we saw Caden in a news vid about the Normandy. He's cute. Later, sis.
Let's pretend this never happened.
Are you interested in the Lieutenant, Chief?
Fraternization is against regulations, ma'am. Don't ask, don't tell. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family.
It's very on brand for Ashley. No, I didn't mean to.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah.
It wasn't intentional, I assure you that, Ashley.
Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
You have more than one sister? Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Yeah, took any crap posting he could get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class. He was real proud when I made Chief. First thing he did was salute.
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while Dad's away on a 6-month cruise. She has a degree in planetary geology. She and Dad both wanted to see new worlds. She gave up her career to raise us, though.
Where did you grow up?
All over. We transferred a half a dozen times before I finished grade school. You go where personnel command sends you, right? I guess that's why I'm so tight with my sisters. We'd have to leave all our friends every 2 or 3 years.
Sounds like Ashley had the spacer background.
After having raised them, your sisters still talk to you? Amazing.
Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did, Mike. I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
Where were you when this was going on?
I was on active duty. Sarah's graduating high school this year. This was only a couple of years back. They were on Amaterasu. At the time, I was assigned to Chernobog. Same cluster, but a dozen Hellwire away. Close enough to talk regularly, too far to make it back in an emergency. I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
If he really liked her, he wouldn't be pushy.
Yeah, of course. If he didn't ask at all, I'd wonder if he thought Sarah was ugly. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, because he figured it was past time they did the deed. She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn some kind of self-defense. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took Aikido. Abby decided to learn the sword. She always was a little weird. Likes big skirts and tops you have to tie her into. They do great things to her figure, though.
So, what did you learn?
One of Dad's friends taught me Marine hand-to-hand.
Did anything happen while you were home?
My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
That's unbelievable. Sarah must be as good as you.
Better. I'm more or less a straight-up puncher. When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was gonna end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. And she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
Your sister's something else. But you didn't mention your father at all. Was he on deployment?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I've enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
I didn't know you liked classical literature.
Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home. Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though.
I thought you said he was dead.
You know, from heaven, wherever that is. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
Not our place to
Your beliefs are
judge.
your business. I'm your commanding officer, not your moral compass.
I appreciate that, Skipper. I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
Dismissed, Chief.
Well, you did, Ashley.
Ma'am?
Nah, it's no big deal. We're gonna talk to everyone. Let's go talk to Rex now, I guess. See what he has to say.
What do you want, Shepard?
Why did you become a mercenary?
Lots of reasons.
Such as?
Such as, I needed to get out of our system. I needed to eat. I needed to survive.
Why not stay and help your people?
I tried to help. That's why I had to leave.
What happened?
I was betrayed. I was head of a small tribe. We were trying to restore order after the war, but the other tribes were against us. They followed Jared, one of the few warlords who survived the war with the Turians. But he was old, and so were his ideas. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted us to fight. Turians, Solarians, each other. It didn't matter who, as long as we were fighting.
What did you want?
I just wanted Jared to shut up, to stop his ranting. I wanted him to stop leading the tribes astray. But he couldn't understand how much things had changed. We didn't have the numbers to go to war. Even if we did, the genophage made sure we couldn't replenish our numbers fast enough. I told them all to forget about war. We needed to focus on breeding, at least for one generation. And for a while, we were getting through. Some of the tribes started coming around.
I take it the warlord didn't appreciate that.
No, he didn't. He arranged a crush with the tribes, a meeting on neutral ground. He wanted to talk. We met at the Hollows, near the graves of our ancestors. The skulls of our dead laid bare to remind us where we come from, and where we all go. It's as sacred as any Krogan place can be. Violence is forbidden.
Sounds like a trap to me. You must have suspected as much.
I did. But when your father invites you to a crush, well, there are some laws that even we hold sacred.
Jared was your father?
He was, until that day. We talked, but we didn't get anywhere. When it was clear that I wouldn't join him, he gave the signal. His men leapt from the graves of our ancestors like Krogan undead. The few that were loyal to me died quickly. I escaped with my life, but not before I sank my dagger deep into my father's chest. That is why I left, and that's why I'll never go back.
You must have family other than your father. Don't you miss them?
You trying to make me cry, Shepard?
The image of Rex crying.
Some unfinished business with my family, but that's all.
What kind of business?
Before I left, I made an oath to my father's father. I swore to recover my family's battle armor. It was taken from him after the uprising.
What's so important about this armor?
It's a relic. Useless, really. But it was worn by 5 generations of my family before the war. It's rightfully mine. Originally, it was taken by the Turian military. We weren't allowed armor or weapons after the war. Now, it's in the hands of Ton Actus, a Turian scum who collects relics from the war. He's made millions selling Krogan artifacts that were stolen from my people. He's got several bases where he stores his goods, all fortified and guarded. I just don't know which base has my family's armor.
Just tell me where to start looking.
I'll upload the data to your nav system. But Commander, I want to be there when you find him.
So there is another quest we've been given from Rex this time. And the conversation with Tally we're about to have is going to be in a similar vein, where we're going to get an objective, or a quest, if you will. I don't even think it's going to be in our journal this time, but it's going to be a conversation based on something that this character needs from us.
Shepard, I'm glad you're here.
Good to see you smiling again, so to speak.
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is. I still think a lot about my pilgrimage, though. I know Steren's our top priority, but with all the worlds we go to, I was hoping to find something to bring back to the flotilla.
We've still got a long way to go. You'll find something to take back.
Yes, but it cannot just be some derelict ship my people can use for salvage. It has to be more than that. There's a lot expected of me.
What's so special about you?
It's my father. He's the senior member of the Admiralty Board. He's one of only 5 people who can overrule the decisions of the Conclave for the good of the migrant fleet. My father is responsible for the lives of 17 million people. Our entire race is in his hands, and I'm his only child.
So are you some kind of heir to the Quarian throne or something?
No, it doesn't work that way. My father's position isn't hereditary. I'll probably never serve on the Admiralty Board myself. Officially, I'm just the same as any other citizen. But it doesn't work that way in practice. People have always treated me differently because of who my father is.
You must get all kinds of special privileges.
I probably had it easier than most growing up, but it's not all good. People like my father have enemies, and they're not above using me to get to him.
It must be tough on you.
My people place a high value on family and ancestry. There's an unspoken expectation that I'll live up to my father's example. Everyone's waiting for me to do something great on my pilgrimage, something that will forever change our lives for the better. If I don't, it's like I failed, and that reflects badly on both me and my father.
The work you're doing here is more important than anything any Quarian's ever done before.
Yes, I know. But you have to understand Quarian culture. We're a very insular society. The events beyond the flotilla don't much matter to the average citizen. Our greatest dream is that one day we'll return to our homeworld and drive out the Geth. But even if we stop Seren, that's not going to happen. There's still millions of Geth behind the veil. Until they're gone, our exile will continue.
What would you need to bring back to make everyone happy?
Something that would help us better understand the Geth. They've changed significantly since the exile. They've continued to evolve. We've done our best to study them, but it's not easy. They're very reclusive. Until recently, they never went beyond the borders of the Veil. And all the Geth we run into now are under Seren's control. We'd need to find Geth operating on their own, independently. But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard. First, we stop Seren. Then I'll worry about my own problems.
I think the new dialogue option that has opened up to us here is the father.
What was your father like?
It wasn't easy growing up as the daughter of one of the Admiralty. Even before he joined the board, he was a prominent figure. People looked to him for leadership. He had to set an example, and he expected the same of his daughter. Plus, he was pretty strict, a military man through and through. He never allowed me to settle for anything less than excellence. As a kid, I sometimes felt like he was pushing me too hard. But now I'm old enough to appreciate what he taught me. The world doesn't owe us anything. If we want something in life, we have to earn it.
Sounds like a tough upbringing. You don't resent your father at all?
Like I said, it wasn't easy. My father's not the kind of person you bond with. And he wasn't around all that much. Too busy. People counted on him, and he took his duties seriously. Even when he was around, he always seemed a bit distant. Like his mind was always somewhere else. Come to think of it, I can't ever remember seeing him smile. Not once. It's like he was always weighed down by all that responsibility. I mean, I know he cares about me, but he never really showed it. Not in the usual way. I guess the best thing I can say about my father is that I respect him.
Where was your mother in all this?
Mother was around, but she always seemed to kind of blend into the background. Almost like she was overshadowed by my father. He tends to do that to people. She passed on about 5 years ago. Some airborne virus that swept through the fleet. Happens sometimes when the filters start to break down. I think my father took it pretty hard. After she was gone, he became even more focused on his work. I think that was his way of dealing with the grief.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
I should go.
See you later.
That's always such a strange line of speaking. We should talk about something else. Like what? I should go. We're of course going to save in case we crash, like we unfortunately did a little while ago. But that is all the conversations we're going to be having on the Normandy right now. If we do look at our journal very quickly here, we've got this Rex-specific quest about family armor, which you just spoke about, and a Garrus-specific quest about finding Dr. Salion. But Tally also mentioned finding something worthy of taking back to the migrant fleet for completing her pilgrimage. Now, we have about 40-ish minutes left, and I've been debating this whole time during these conversations about what I'm going to do for the next 40-ish minutes. Whether that means starting Pharos, our very next major story section of the game, but that would mean not completing Pharos in one complete episode. I've also been debating doing a side quest that is in the star system next to the one Pharos is located in. I think, though, because this will be the 6th episode of the Mass Effect Legendary series we're currently doing, it would be worth starting Pharos off and doing side quests in between the major story sections instead of having more side quests right now. So we've got Pharos. The Geth have attacked the world of Pharos. Your primary objective is to go to Zeus Hope Colony to investigate what Saren is after and why he sent his Geth troops to the planet. So investigate Pharos to see why the colony was attacked by Geth.
Message coming
yes,
in.
Alright, let's... Oh, hang on.
Passing it through.
Commander, Miss Al-Jalani's story on you just aired. She shouldn't have ambushed you like that, but you handled it pretty well.
We had differences of opinion, sir. I hope she at least believed my sincerity.
You handled yourself pretty well, Commander. She came across like a raving idiot. Just wanted to let you know what the response was back home. I won't keep you any longer. 5th Fleet out.
Alright. Zooming out into the Milky Way galaxy map. Yeah, so there's a significant amount of side quests that we will be accessing between the major story beats of Pharos and Noveria. We will also be picking up a handful of side quests in Pharos, or during the Pharos mission itself. So everything we just kind of collected from the Citadel and the Normandy, combined with the Pharos missions, will be what we do in between the Pharos and Noveria quests. There's also some other things that are located on the map, like some smaller side objectives that we don't have in our assignment journal we will be completing as well. And I'm expecting that to take around two episodes each, or sorry, just 2 episodes for the side quest, depending on how long each one takes. And then we can jump right into Noveria, hopefully in a few episodes from now, with Pharos being broken up between 2, because we will start it today and we will hopefully finish it next time. This is the star cluster here, Hercules, that we would be going to before Pharos, if that was one of the options I was contemplating here. But I think we're just going to go right to the objective and begin this, because we have some planet descriptions to read, we have some conversations to have, and there's a whole starting bit to the Pharos quest that is nice to kind of do, I think, first.
Message for you, Commander. Just came in over a secure channel.
Shepard, this is Admiral Goku. I found out who set that trap for my men. The ones killed by the Thresher Moor. Damn, I hope you get this message. It was a group called Cerberus. An Alliance Black Ops organization. Top secret, highest level security clearance. They vanished a few months ago. Dropped right off the grid. Nobody knew where they went or what they were up to. They've gone completely rogue, Shepard. They're conducting illegal genetic experiments, trying to create some kind of super soldier. I don't have any proof, but I found the coordinates for one of their research worlds. I'm uploading them with this message. They're completely out of control. Somebody needs to stop them. I've done my part. Now it's up to you. This is probably the last you'll hear from me. Cerberus is after me now. I need to disappear before they find me.
Ominous. I'll quickly exit the galaxy maps and check our journal. So we now have a quest from Admiral Kahoku to investigate the coordinates he uploaded, to investigate this organization called Cerberus. Of course, we'll be doing that after we finish Pharaohs. Alright, this is the Theseus star system, and we're going to go through the planet descriptions, and then we will land. So this is Quana. Quana's frozen surface is rich with heavy metals, and the planet's higher than average density suggests further mineral richness in the depths. The atmosphere is composed of nitrogen and carbon monoxide. The remains of a well-developed Prothean mining infrastructure dot the planet. Abandoned mines are connected to dead cities by collapsed maglev lines. Unlike the crumbling skyscrapers on Pharos, Quana's ruins are reasonably intact. Unfortunately, this only made it easier for looters to strip the silent necropoli of anything valuable. And we surveyed a light metal deposits of cobalt. On to the next planet. We've got Logan here. Logan is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant. The survey team who charted the system 20 years ago reported many strange disturbances in Logan's cloud bands, suggesting many remarkably large solid objects were present beneath the cloud tops. As the ship approached, however, they subsided one by one. These disturbances have not been reported again. Interesting. Saitao is shrouded by a high-pressure atmosphere composed of carbon dioxide and sulfuric acids. The surface is composed of geologically young plains of volcanic basalts and rhyolites, with high concentrations of carbon and radioactives. Saitao is rapidly volcanic. A dozen supervolcanoes, 50 to 120 kilometers wide, are erupting across the planet. Saitao's carbon content and constant volcanism make natural diamonds plentiful. It's extremely costly and dangerous to recover. Just diamonds all over this planet. It's the diamond planet. It's kind of interesting. Sharing is a standard hydrogen-helium gas giant. The atmosphere contains traces of ammonia, methane, and surprisingly large amounts of water vapor, making the atmosphere a striking mix of browns, blues, and whites. Of Sharin's 60-odd moons, 2 have diameters of over 3,000 kilometers. Both have signs of former Prothean development, suggesting Sharin may have been mined for helium-3. And we found a Prothean data disk. The planet Sharin displayed some strange readings while being scanned. Chief Engineer Adams pinpointed the source and located a strange object. Tally and Adams brought it on board and spent hours taking it apart. The purpose of the object is still uncertain, but it was Prothean in nature and contained a Prothean data disk. And I think that's all the planets aside from Pharos, so we can check this one out now. Look at that nice picture. The Exogeny Corporation has founded a pilot colony on Pharos to explore the Prothean ruins that blanketed 2/3 of the planet's landmass. The atmosphere is fouled with dust. Terrestrial travel is hampered by crumbled debris dozens of meters deep. There are indications that Pharos was a much colder world in the past. Pharos has 2 large moons, Orkin, the Father, and Vardet. Alright, so we're gonna land on Pharos and begin our next major story quest. So one really cool thing that Mass Effect 1 does that the other games do not do is that when you land on a planet, or a key planet like Pharos and Noveria, even the Citadel actually, I should have noted when we did that previously in the episode, you still actually have to walk to the airlock and physically leave the ship before you are on the planet. It doesn't just put you there once, like, it's not like transitioning to the next level, if you will. You actually have to go through the door. So we're gonna make a new save right before we do, of course, and we're gonna exit the Normandy. So for our Pharos quest, we are gonna bring along Tali because she is our Geth expert. But I also think it might be worth bringing either Kaidan Malenko it's between Garrus, Rex, and Kaidan for me, to be quite honest with you. Garrus for the tech abilities, but Rex and Kaidan for the biotics. Though the Shepard we're playing is a Vanguard, meaning we do have biotic capabilities. Let's go Garrus. Spend too much time debating.
Equalizing
Just get to
interior
it.
pressure with exterior atmosphere.
It's the
Logged.
Garrus and Tali
The
show this
commanding
episode.
officer
We
is
brought them to the
ashore.
Citadel, and we're going to
Exo
bring them
Presley
to
has
Pharos.
the deck.
So right off the bat, one thing that is majorly different from the original version of Pharos and this version is that it is much darker. The original Pharos was more of a beigey brown almost everywhere, like all this cement kind of material that you see like on the walls in the distance and the walkway here. It was all very samey in color, and it looks a lot moodier now.
We saw your ship.
With the shadows and the
Dan wants to
lights
speak
kind of
with you
coming
immediately.
down.
Who's Fidan?
He's our leader. He needs your help to prepare for the Geth. They're making another push. Please, up the stairs past the freighter. Look out!
Oh, and into combat right away. So we do have Tali, our Geth expert. She can hack. Oh, I don't know if she can hack through shields, but she can hack enemy Geth, which would allow us a distraction when and if we need it. Let's see here. Let's get a barrier going so we have a bit of damage protection. Let's see here. We use sabotage so we can't shoot, and we'll warp him. Do some damage. Alright. Got one. We'll go and take cover behind this. See what we can see. Alright, we got a sniper. The sniper needs to not shoot at us, so we're going to have to use sabotage on him. There, that'll help us out a bit. Let's see. Let's get a shotgun for a little bit more damage output. Then we'll have to get closer if that's the case, if we're going to use a shotgun. Let's use an overload on the sniper too, so we can do a little bit more damage on him. There we go. Sniper's down. We'll use an adrenaline burst so I have access to my biotics again. Oh, I missed, of course. I think that's all of them right here. Okay. Oh, nope. Okay, so there are some more up in the stairwell here. Haha, jammers. I do believe these enemy types are only present in Mass Effect 1. They don't ever make a reappearance. Which I'm not too upset about. They're alright. They're a little annoying with how frequently they jump around. Oh, we got one. Where's the other one here? Did we get it already too? Oh, Garrus says we're good. Must be good.
Head to the tunnels. Make sure they're secure.
But what if I find Geth there?
Are you saying you won't go?
No, I'll go.
So here we go. We found the colony.
Dangerous.
Glad to see some soldiers. Our numbers are getting thin.
Holster our weapons and
How is a woman supposed to think with guns going off all around?
we'll just kind of investigate. So this is the colony of Zoo's Hope.
I fear the Geth will kill us all.
The Geth are mounting another attack.
So if we just investigate here, we've got a terminal to decrypt. Cargo logs. While decrypting these logs, you found something suspicious. Several months' worth of human rations were delivered to an uncharted world in the Voyager cluster. The logs aren't clear, but it appears they maybe have been dropped off somewhere in the Amazon system. Well, another side quest for us there. But right now we need to go speak to the colony's leader, if you will. Oh.
The Geth just keep coming.
Hello, Off-Worlder. I'm glad that we are totally forgotten by the rest of the galaxy.
Dear, please try to rest. You're not ready to speak.
But they should know. Yes. That's better.
Is there anything I can do for you?
I'm fine. I just need to try to think clearly. It's just a lingering pain from the last attack. I'll be...
I can't see any significant damage, but something is clearly causing her pain.
Please, just let her rest. She just needs rest.
There's some missable Paragon points there. I don't think you can access that conversation if you go to the little exclamation point on our radar. I think it goes away. Let's see what this is. Public extranet terminal. Just another codex. We're going to save again. And here we go. Fidan, let's talk.
Oh, Commander. I'm glad they finally sent somebody to help us.
You're a bit late, aren't you?
Arcelia. Sorry, Commander. Everyone's on Ep.6.
Watch out! We've got Geth in the tower!
More Geth.
Protect the heart of the colony!
Alright, some heavy combat coming up. Let's use a little sabotage. Make sure they can't shoot at us. Oh! Guess that sabotage didn't pay off in the end. We got ourselves killed. Luckily, we just saved, eh? Oh, there's an autosave here too. Look at that. Interesting, interesting. Gotta be a little more careful, I guess. See if we can get the AI hacking to work this time. Doesn't seem to work on that enemy type, so we might have to upgrade it a bit more before it becomes a viable option. Sabotage, though, should work. There, you can actually see there, the health went down pretty fast after I had warped the armor. It's kind of the benefit of using warp, I guess. Ooh, we'll use a barrier to not take too much damage here. Let's see, we'll use an overload for the shields. Give me a grenade. Oh, he's down, okay. Alright, so at this part you have to go and kind of eliminate the Geth from this section of the game, or of the map, I guess. We'll get Tally to have a shotgun, and we'll put her there. So this is the enemy right here we should be able to hack. There we go, it worked that time. got drones now. Okay. Those are the things that took out Jenkins. Get a shield boost. Protect our health a little. Alright, where are we looking? Oh, we got a sniper. Let's see, we're gonna have to take this guy out. Alright, sniper's up there. I wonder if we can hack the sniper. Oh, it's not recharged yet. Alright, I'll warp him. And that way he'll take more damage. Aha! Nice. So this combat section has actually been beefed up quite a bit in both visuals and its pacing from the original. It was kind of just based on, I think, how far you got into the tunnel here. But now I think it's more based on the waves of enemies. Like you're attacking waves and waves of enemies. You can see them dropping down. Let's use throw there, get that juggernaut out of our way. Alright. None of them really have shields. Alright, looking good for us. Dropship's leaving.
We should update Fidan on the situation before we move on to wherever the Geth are bunkered. He's the closest thing left to proper channels. I can't believe the colony held out as long as it did.
I agree, Garrus.
These people are brave, but the Geth are relentless. My people know this better than anyone.
And that's kind of what I mean by your squad having different things to say based on where you are. That concept gets iterated on and improved upon as the series goes as well. You don't necessarily need to activate the conversations. Like the squad banter doesn't become manual, it becomes a little more naturalistic. Like especially in the third game, which is something to look forward to. Unity Amp 5. Ooh, that could come in handy. We could quickly take a look to see if... Yeah, let's equip that. And we are going to, of course, save. Practice that good save hygiene. Alright, so the goal for the next little while is to do the first bit of side quests relating to Zoo's Hope colony here on Pharos. Because this major quest is kind of divided up into a few segments, I figure we can do the first bit of it at the end of this episode, while that leaves the rest of the Pharos quest for the next episode in case it does take us 2 hours. I'm not expecting it to necessarily take all of next episode, but it gives us plenty of time to do Pharos without rushing.
The tower's secure, thanks to you, Commander.
I'm just glad your colony's safe.
I appreciate your concern and your efforts against the Geth.
They may have been slowed, but they'll be back. They always come back.
Help me find what the Geth are after, and you'll all get out of here alive.
We don't know what they're after. They came, they attacked us, that's all we know. Their main base is at the Exogeny headquarters. A good place to start looking if you want answers.
What's Exogeny?
It's the company most of us worked for before the attacks. They fund this colony. The Skyway leads directly to Exogeny headquarters. You can't miss it.
Of course, there's an army of Geth between here and there.
I didn't expect this would be easy.
Then maybe I can get this colony operational again.
Let's inquire further about getting the colony operational. That's kind of what I meant by the first wave of quests. We're going to help the colony out a bit here.
What do you need done to get this place back on its feet?
We need those Geth destroyed.
Arcelia's right. There are still Geth in the tunnels. We also have more mundane problems like food, water, and power. I'm not sure where we stand on those matters. You should talk to the people overseeing them.
Do you have information about Geth in the lower tunnels?
Nothing new. They're in the tunnel somewhere, likely guarding a transmitter to coordinate attacks. It's not a critical threat right now, but getting rid of that transmitter will help us defend against further attacks.
Is there anything I can do to solve your water shortage?
Maka Doyle has been assigned to that particular issue. If you have any insight to offer, please speak with her.
What's wrong with the colony's power supply?
May O'Connell is working on our power problems. She'd know more about it than I do.
You mentioned something about a food shortage.
Davin Reynolds is tasked with securing food for the immediate future. If you can assist, please speak with him.
Let's talk about Zeus, Hope, and Pharos in general.
Of course, Commander.
Tell me about your colony.
Life is hard and often brutal, even without our current problems. Colonial affairs back on Earth told us we'd be beneath the notice of any raiders. I guess they weren't counting on the Geth. But, despite everything, there's something tranquil about this place, unlike anything I've experienced before.
What else can you tell me about Exogeny?
Exogeny funded this colony. Without them, we wouldn't be stuck here.
They specialize in colonization. In return for bankrolling the colony, we work for them. Their main goal is the retrieval of valuable artifacts or resources.
Except there isn't anything here. Or if there is, we didn't find it.
I wonder if that's what the Geth are looking for.
Perhaps. As she said, we never found anything of value.
Of course, the Geth could know something we don't.
What can you tell me about the defenses the Geth have set up?
I don't have any details, but I'll wager it's a lot more fortified than the command post.
They landed at least one Geth ship at Exogeny, and I've seen large walking tanks on the Skyway. Expect a hard fight.
I'll talk to you when I learn more.
Good luck, Commander.
So we'll likely run over time on this episode, getting these this first wave of side quests done, because we do have a bit more conversations to have. We have to go inquire further about each issue the colonists are having.
You'll have to forgive my wife. Calantha's not in her right mind. She just needs to relax and accept what's happened.
What happened to your wife?
The constant attacks have strained us all. She'll adapt. We all have.
Is there anything I can do for her?
No, she just needs time. Time to absorb everything. We'll be fine.
What do you do for the colony?
I'm a medic. Or I am since the doctor died. I've tried my best since she was killed.
Do you know anything about this planet?
Just what I was told by Colonial Affairs. It's a little different from what they claimed. It's not all bad, though. When the Geth are gone, we'll have a chance to create something even more spectacular than before.
Tell me about the colony.
I can't tell you much about that. You'd best ask Fidan if you really must know.
Why can't you tell me? I just want to know about the colony.
Fidan is our leader. Who better to answer questions about the colony?
Do you have any idea what the Geth were looking for?
I can't think of any reason for an attack like this. We just wanted to build a home.
I have to go.
I'm sure,
Please do
indeed.
what you can to stop the attacks.
We will. We'll do what we can after we talk to everyone.
You're the one who repelled that last wave. They'll be back. And if the Geth don't kill us, we'll die of hunger soon enough.
Are you doing anything to remedy the situation?
I need to boost rations with Varen meat, but it's too dangerous. The Alpha Varen, he's huge and he's mad. Rabid, maybe. Totally uncontrollable. I can't do anything until he's dead.
I have a ship. I could bring in supplies from off-world.
I'd rather you concentrated on the Geth. Food won't help us if they breach our defenses.
Tell me about hunting Varen.
Hunting them is impossible while fending off the Geth. On the positive side, they'll attack anything, even those damn synthetics. The big Alpha Varen is the real problem. He's mad, erratic, completely unpredictable.
Tell me about Zeus Hope.
The colony is growing, or it was. But you should speak with Fidan. He is our leader.
Why should I speak with Fidan? Why can't you tell me?
I don't want to talk about that right now. Speak with Fidan.
Tell me about yourself.
What's to tell? I came here with my wife Greta, looking for adventure, a new life together. This isn't exactly what we signed up for. Of course, it would be much better without the Geth. We were really starting to enjoy the colony before they came.
I have to go.
So long, Commander.
So long. Let's go talk to some other people about their problems, because everyone needs something from Commander Shepard.
I'm sorry, but I can't stop to talk. I have to deal with the water shortage.
Is there anything I can do?
The utilities building was one of the first to fall under Geth control. Find the mains and turn them back on. Until then, this colony is dry.
I have a ship fueled and ready to go. I could bring water in.
Unless you plan to make a trip every few days, that wouldn't really solve our problem. We need to be self-sufficient.
Tell me about yourself.
I'd rather not. This is not the time or the place. Please, help us or don't. Otherwise, leave me to my work.
Tell me about the colony.
We are a small group, part of a larger colony, before the Geth attacked. You should speak to Fidan. It's his responsibility. He knows the colony best.
What do you know about this planet?
I am not the one to ask about that. Ask Fidan or one of the others.
Fidan, eh?
I wish you luck.
Nice work with those Geth. Glad you showed up. I still need the power cells for this generator, though. Would it help if I brought in some power cells from the Normandy? We can certainly spare a few. Your top-of-the-line ship doesn't use the same parts as the old generator we've got. The cells just aren't.
This is funny because the voice of Commander Shepard is also voicing this character, May O'Connell, so Jennifer Hale is having a conversation with herself here.
If I find anything while I'm looking around, I'll send it your way. Thank you, Commander. I appreciate it.
Commander, I was told to make my supplies available to you if you wish.
What's your name, Solarian?
My full name is Gorat tu Heranon Maldinest God Inost Ledra. Humans usually employ surname and given name only. Inost and Ledra in my case.
Why's your name so long?
We are named for our origins. Gorat tu is my homeworld, Heranon my clan's country, Maldinest and Got are the city and district where I live.
What's a Solarian doing on a human colony?
This Solarian goes where the credits are. Or I did. A well-stocked freighter can be a profitable investment on a new colony. But once I was here, I decided to stay on. The colony life grows on you after a while.
Grows on you, eh?
What can you tell me about Zoo's Hope?
A fascinating place by all accounts. Though the Geth have made it treacherous. You might like it here too, if you gave it a chance, Commander. I never thought I'd stay in one place for long, but here? I will stay here.
This place is barely holding together. Why stay here?
I can't give you an answer to that, Commander. At least not one that you would comprehend. Why not try asking Fidan? Maybe he can tell you what I can't.
How do you keep things in stock in conditions like this?
My list of consumers has shrunk significantly since the attacks, and few of those have time for shopping.
Let me see what you have.
Well, let's shop some.
Let's
see what he's
I
got.
may be able to
At the very
provide a
least,
few interesting items.
you should have a license. Yeah, there it is. And I think that's usually all I grab from shops. I don't waste too much time early game shopping, aside from getting the upgrades for your metagel and your grenades and the licenses.
You're the commander of the ship that just landed.
What do you do here?
I'm just watching over the ship, making sure she doesn't get any worse. If nothing else, she's good for hiding in when those Geth come over the walls.
It looks like you're monitoring something.
No, well, just ship diagnostics. It's nothing. I should get back to it, but Fidan wants a report on... I should go.
Maybe I can help you. What are you trying to diagnose?
No, thanks, really. Now, please, I need to get back to work.
Not suspicious at all. But yeah, she actually points out that the thing we were just walking through, I guess to get to Fidan and to talk to the woman and the medic there inside the little building here. This is a ship, not just a building. I guess it's not super obvious, I guess. But that is indeed what it is. So yes, we have our objectives, and we are going to go complete them before we end this episode. Let's see if we can talk to Fidan.
Some of the colonists are acting strange.
We're a close-knit group, Commander. Most of us have lost loved ones, friends.
These aren't trained soldiers. Nobody taught us how to deal with the horrors of war.
This is our home. We've watched the Geth slowly destroy everything that is important to us. Don't judge us too harshly.
I'll talk to you when I learn more.
Good luck, Commander.
So of course we're going to go and complete these side objectives. You can check your journal here, and you have all of them labeled Pharos, and it tells you what you need to do. And we can do it all in one fell swoop here. And it shouldn't take too long. provided we don't die a whole lot in these combat sequences. Let's get going here. So lots of stairs to climb. I think there's a few flights to go down. 1, 2, maybe 3 in total. Oh, oh, oh! Okay, cool. The sniper didn't get us. I think we used sabotage in time. And we're clear. Barrier comes in handy. It really mitigates some of that damage. Alright, what do we have for weapons? Let's get Tally equipped with a pistol because we are going to be fighting in more narrow passageways in a tunnel. Another observation I'll make about Pharos compared to the original version in Mass Effect 1 is that it is a much more obviously war-torn area now. Like it's very clear that this place is being damaged by the Geth, whereas I mentioned earlier the colors made it look very samey in all the environments. It looks much more what you would expect now. There, we got a bit of AI hacking. Didn't really do us a whole lot though. Oh gosh. Let's see. Get a shield boost. A little bit of damage there, not too much. And here's our first water valve.
This valve looks like part of a large system. There are likely others we need to activate as well.
And here is the second one.
There's another one. Doesn't look like it's been activated yet, though. We should keep looking.
And this right here is an area that we can go to, but we will get there on the return visit. For now, we're going to go up here. We're going to save. And time to do some Varen hunting. I think it might be good to bring out Tally's shotgun at this point, actually. See if we can't avoid too much damage here. All in a pile, just like that. Okay. We'll heal up, and I think we've got the Alpha Varen. Yeah, here we go. Good idea to warp the Varen so it can take more damage. Let's see what else we can do to it here. The Varen falls dead, riddled with slugs. This must be the Alpha Male, the pack leader of the feral scavengers. So there, we can report back to the fellow looking for some food for the colony. While we're at it, we also can get some fuel cells. This old, disabled vehicle was more willing to part with its still functioning power cell than one would expect. Beautifully written. Beautifully written. Sludge canister. What do we got here? Some items. I think there's another thing to open over here. Yes, indeed. We'll save again. Practice that good save hygiene. Alright. Onward to the next objective. Back into the tunnels. Find some more water valves and clear the Geth out. Alright, so I can see some. We'll put Tally's pistol back on. Take cover from that sniper. Alright, cool. We'll get some AI hacking involved. Oh, wow, they took him out immediately. Let's see if I can't... Oh, I can't warp, okay. Not recharged yet. So on my off-stream playthrough, I've actually already started Mass Effect 2, and one thing I am immediately missing from Mass Effect 1, like I wish they would have retained it, is that the individual power timers, like if I use warp, it independently has a timer from throw. Like I can use throw after warp kind of thing. I don't need to wait for the overall, like the power timer to reset.
The system is active.
All right, cool. So we restored water, to Zoo's Hope. We just need to go in and inform the lady that wanted us to do so, and now we have Ian Newstead to talk to, some fella down here in the tunnels.
You don't want to go down there.
What are you doing down here?
Nothing I should be, and anything I shouldn't. No! That was a good one. Very intense.
What's the matter with you?
Just invoking the Master's whip helps remind me I'm still alive. You're here for the Geth, aren't you? You're not the only one interested in those things.
Who else is looking for the Geth?
Not looking for. Looking to get rid of. They're a thorn in the side of the... Trying to get to the...
This one is no longer fit. We should leave him.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Pretty harsh coming from Tally.
Do you want help?
Help me? No. No one can help me now. I'd rather die fighting!
Fighting what?
Not that kind of fight. It's like running through a thorn bush. The more you struggle, time's up. Company's coming. Ask Fidan. Ask him about the...
Fidan again. Geth. Heal up Tally there.
I won't do it. I won't. I can't. I won't do it.
Alright, and then we'll save, of course. And we've got one more thing to do in the tunnels before we return to Zoo's Hope, and that is disable the Geth transmitter. It is across the way from the door that had the Varen in it, so I do believe it is right here. I had a bit of trouble with this actually in my off-stream playthrough. I died a couple times just for not paying attention to my surroundings, poor enemy management, because there are some snipers up here that you want to almost deal with immediately. And then you've got Geth coming at you from below. And then of course you've got drones. That's not all. At the end of the tunnel, you've got some Krogan to deal with. And it's going to be kind of the same method we took with the rogue lunar VI, where we let them come to us more than going to them. So we'll use dampening to disable their ability to use any kind of biotic or tech ability. So no immunity for them. Oh, I lied. There's immunity right there. We'll put barrier on so we don't get too much damage here. Yeah, let's put barrier on. And let's use adrenaline burst. And then throw him. There we go. Okay, cool. So let's try to fall back a bit. Overload their weapons with sabotage. I think we'll get Tally back now, and we'll equip her with the shotgun the second that she can. We'll take his shields out. Oh, Tally's down again. That Krogan health regeneration is tough to contend with on Insanity difficulty sometimes. Just for protection's sake, I'm going to activate a barrier. He does look like he's bugged out and just kind of stuck. That worked to our benefit. And there still says there's an enemy back here. What do we got to do with? Another Krogan. Okay. down. It's gonna be up though in a second. Whew, that was a close one. They can really take a lot of damage, the Krogan. Heal, and naturally we're going to save because we did not die. I think that took me like 3 times on my off-stream playthrough. I just was not paying attention to the damage output that Krogan deal when they get right up close and personal like that. Technician kit, cool. And this is the transmitter, so you gotta destroy it. There we go, journal updated, transmitter destroyed. I remember once upon a time in the original, that quest could easily get bugged. You would destroy it, and then the journal wouldn't clear, and then even reloading wouldn't fix it. And then we just have this really annoying quest that you couldn't complete stuck in your journal, even if you were doing like 100% playthrough. Only had that happen like 1 or 2 times. Alright, so we should have some more enemies in the tunnel now, including snipers. Okay. Get into cover. Let's overheat some weapons. Throw some Geth with biotics. Alright, what else can we do here? We got another sniper. It's taking cover though. And cleared that tunnel. I think we're good. We're golden. Just back to Zoo's Hope. So we are nearing this episode. We are running a little over time, which is fine. We're going to turn in all of these little side quests, and that will be the end of our episode, which leaves our next episode wide open to do the rest of Ferris's quest, including all of its dialogue, all of its side stuff, etc. If we have time after the end of the Pharaoh's quest, next episode, we'll do just 1 or 2 side quests. We might even talk to the squad just to kill some time. But that will be what we have on the docket for the next episode, completing this quest and then having some conversations and beginning some side quests, because we have quite a few of them to get through between the end of Pharos and the start of Noveria. And we, of course, are going to talk to everyone here, all the people that assigned us some quests, including Fidan.
Commander, what can I do for you?
I destroyed a Geth transmitter in the tunnels. They won't be a problem any longer.
Thank you, Commander. We're in your debt. You've taken a great weight off my shoulders. I just wish I had such good news for every problem.
Let's talk about Zoo's Hope and Pharos in general.
Of course, Commander.
There's a guy living down in the tunnels. Is he one of yours?
That would be Ian. He's very sick.
He seems to be more than just sick.
He hasn't been the same since the attack. We tried to help him, but he wouldn't listen to us. I can't help my people if they won't listen, Commander.
Don't you have medical supplies? Something to help him?
I wish it was that simple. Ian was a good man I'd like to have with us. Please, Commander. I'd prefer not to talk about it anymore.
I'll talk to you when I learn more.
Good luck, Commander.
One thing I should note too is that everything we just did, all the side quests here, are completely optional. You don't need to do all of the like the Geth in the tunnels, the water, find the power cells, and so on and so forth. You could just go up towards the Exogeny facility and do the main quest. We're just doing side stuff for, of course, the Paragon, the experience, the credits, the story, the lore, you know, the full experience. But you are by no means obligated to do these things.
The war started running not long ago. Thanks to you, I assume. Now we just need to deal with the Geth and we can get back to growing this colony. Thank you again, Commander.
And there we go.
Nice work with those Geth. Glad you showed up. I still need the power cells for this generator, though. I found these power cells in the tunnels. Are they what you're looking for? I knew they'd turn up eventually. Here, Fidan gave me some requisition money. It's all yours. Now if I can kick these power cells into place, I'll have this colony up and running in no time.
And like, if we quickly look at our squad screen, just doing those side quests, we just accumulated a bunch of Paragon points, so we already have access to the next bit of charm here, so we might as well dump some points into it. But yeah, our Paragon is much higher now from doing one of these major quests. It's definitely nice to get those extra Paragon points. And here we have Davin Reynolds.
I killed the big Varen. The rest are yours.
Excellent. I'll organize a hunt when the immediate threat of the Geth is gone.
I have to go.
Here, for your trouble. It's not much, I know, but it's all we can spare.
And even more Paragon points. And if we check our journal, that should be all of our Pharos side quests. And that will actually take us to the end of our episode today. We will be picking up where we are leaving off, of course, finishing up Pharos, doing the Exogeny facility and seeing where that takes us, and then, of course, discussing the consequences and results of the Pharos quest with our squad. Alright, we're going to quickly save, and that is it from me today. I hope you are all well, and I'll see and be with you next time. Goodbye.